so you guys can see some of where I grew up. I might have to hold this, so bear with me on the shoddy footage. But I figured I'd take you guys on a little tour of a little town called Lakeside. Unfortunately, Lakeside doesn't exist. The zip code still does, but due to issues with the local post office, the town of Morris pretty much absolved, however you want to look at it, the town Lakeside, and took over their postal service. These are the back roads that I used to explore when I was a young teenager. I'm 38, I'm going to be 39 here in a week, so that's 20 plus years ago. And when I say 20 plus, I mean it's only been 20 years since I've been 18. I've been driving these roads since I was 16, just to explore and learn about the area. And figured I'd share it with all you folks. Hopefully the video comes out pretty good. I'm recording off of my phone, and I'll post this to YouTube later. I'm trying not to get people's houses or addresses in the video. I don't want to piss anybody off. But coming up on a sign that says pavement ends. This leads back over to closer to where I grew up. This will bring us out in the hollow. It's actually been dubbed Smoky Hollow. And when we get there, you're gonna hopefully love the scenery. It's actually a very quiet place to live. The only thing you really have to worry about out here is wildlife. I apologize for the rattles and bangs. I'm in the Jeep, and everybody knows my story with the Jeep. We have a slight love-hate relationship. The road gets kind of washed out and bumpy through the winter. They actually have to maintain this they try to maintain it as best as they can in the winter. That's a weird looking tree. Oh, my rearview mirror crap's kind of getting in the way. There's not a lot of traffic out here, minus the homeowners and property owners, obviously. Jeep gets kind of squirrely on those washboards. Kind of slow it down here. I'm going a little too fast as it is. But like I said, I apologize for the shoddy camera work. I have to hold the camera and drive at the same time. I don't have anything in the Jeep that the phone can be mounted to keep my hands free. But being that we're out in the middle of nowhere, it's not really a big deal. So this is the northwest corner of Connecticut, kind of. We're still about a half an hour away from the actual northwest corner, which would include the towns of Kent and Canaan. Gotta watch myself coming off the corner here. That little cutoff there, that's gated. Yeah, that used to have some fond memories. It still does, but we won't go into details. But this is where I grew up. This is where I used to explore and learn about the town where I was raised. So there's a power line down there. That's cute. Small creeks and crooks and cricks. I mean, not crooks. And this is the hollow. This is Smoky Hollow. It's been dubbed. A classmate of mine used to live there in that house for a while with her son. Here, let's go over for a minute. We'll stop. That would be the Bantam River, right down there. I'd go live if I could, but there's no reception out this way to go live. So this is the best I can do. history of this town is intriguing, to say the least. It was founded by, the town of Morris was founded by a man named James C. Morris, if I'm not mistaken on his middle name, or middle initial, I should say. Supposedly, George Washington crossed the river there on a bunch of logs at some point in his life, but in the state of Connecticut, George Washington crossed every bridge or river or creek or slept in everybody's house. Apparently, George Washington slept in the house I live in, which used to be dubbed the Quiet Inn. And here, we'll stop real quick here on the bridge so we can get across it in one piece. Look at that, folks. Isn't that a sight? The old railroad bed, if I'm not mistaken, was right over there behind me. And that runs northeast all the way through the town of Litchfield. My mother could tell everybody more about that, but I don't know what she's up to today. She's out and about, but these guardrails obviously haven't been here that long, but apparently that's how stupid people drive down here. There's still snow on the ground out there. That's how cold it is down here in the hollow. I'd switch hands, but my camera lens are going to be blocked. So gotta stick with what I got going on here. Take a left up here. This will take us down the old West Morris Road. I'm not doing a pace reveal, just so everybody knows. Stop here and take a shot out the window here. That is Mount Tom. If you can pause the video enough, you can actually see the watchtower up there somewhere. There's an old fire tower up there on the top. This used to be once upon a time a barn there. This is all farmland. There's a stork back there or something, or blue something. I can't remember what they were called. This used to be all usable farmland. This used to hold cattle. All of these fields look like they're actually being used, surprisingly. And yes, the crazy old coots up here in the northwest corner used to harvest these fields with equipment that they had back in the day. I'd imagine that a lot of people nowadays wouldn't even consider it. We're going to stop here. I probably shouldn't pull in here, but I'm not doing anything wrong. I just want to show you folks the view. If I pull in here quick and kind of turn around, look at that. You want a place for stargazing, man? This is the place to do it. It's quiet. Look at the view. It's a bright sunny day today up in Connecticut. It's one of the local mountains. I don't want to go in here too far, so we gotta back up. Get out of here before I get nailed for trespassing. Not that I think I will here, but gotta be careful backing out here on the hill because people drive like maniacs. Windows rolled up here so you folks can still hear me. I know the wind probably isn't helping you hear my voice. But we'll see what I have to do to edit this, if anything, when I get home. My mother used to work third shift at Potter's Field milking cattle. She's actually coming down this road one night, and I think we just passed one of the stumps. But one of these trees, as she was driving by, it was a real stormy night. One of these trees got struck by lightning just as she passed it. Scared the ever living crap out of her. Literally blew the bark off the tree. No dog pooping. That person had a sign in the middle of the country that says no dog pooping. Apparently she has a problem with dogs pooping on her property. There's a view for you folks, right out the window there. Kinda hard to see with all the overgrowth, but that's my folks' house right there. It's kind of busy with my brother and his wife's projects going on. That's Mefford Endeavors. If you ever want to check out their YouTube page, they've done a lot for the property, cleaned it up. It looks kind of cluttered now, but they're always doing stuff. But once I grew up right here, out this window. My parents owned from that house all the way down to this field here, years and years ago. That piece of property has been sold to the neighbor, who happens to be the local vet, who Mom actually went to high school with. So we live at what we used to call the Three Hills at one point in time. And we'll come up over this crest here. And from my mother's back deck, you can actually see Bantam Lake, which you can't see it right now, obviously, but yeah. You can see it from my mother's back porch. It's pretty cool. This is No Man's Land Swamp. Right here it's been dubbed. This swamp, if you cut through it the way the crow flies, will take you straight over to Bantam Lake, which is how Lakeside was dubbed the way it was, being said it's on the side of Bantam Lake. Pretty simple. Going up Stoddard Road here was named after Grandpa Stoddard's family. They were land rich, money poor. I'll show you my sister's house and show you the old homestead. So that massive, giant white thing there is my sister's home. And right next to it, actually attached to it, if you see it there, that little side piece there was my grandparents' original homestead. My grandfather started building